Okay, thank you. Welcome for our lesson. I want to proceed from where I left last time, of which we were dealing with methods of conserving energy. I said there are three methods of conserving energy, of which I said the first one is using energy sparingly, of which we discussed last time. Today we want to discuss about using energy efficient devices, and then we will summarize with using renewable sources of energy. Now, when we talk of using energy efficient devices, these are some of the devices that can conserve energy by using little amount of energy. Now, you understand that in our daily life, a human being, the main source of fuel is trees or firewood, in form of firewood or charcoal. Now, we have to conserve this energy in this way. We should develop ways of using a small amount of charcoal or firewood to save on the trees. So if we conserve this charcoal or firewood, then we will have saved on trees. Number three, we say we should use sawdust or cow dung, which are considered wastes. Sawdust and cow dung are considered waste. Now, instead of disposing them, you can use them to cook instead of using firewood or charcoal. And then well-constructed stoves save time and also energy. There are traditional stoves and we have modern stoves. You find that when you compare consumption of fuel, the modern one uses little amount of fuel as compared to the traditional stoves. Now, we come to devices for burning wood fuel Jicos. These include, what are devices for burning wood fuel Jicos? We have firewood, charcoal, and also sawdust. These are the three devices for burning wood fuel Jicos. So I say firewood, charcoal, and also sawdust. Now we want to see how we can conserve these so that we can save on trees. I say why a traditional Jico does not conserve energy as compared to a modern one. Now, these are the reasons as to why we say a traditional Jico does not conserve energy. First one, we say it is made of metal casing. Number two, it is cylindrical in shape, hence creating that large capacity for charcoal consumption. Number three, it is difficult to hold its handles when the charcoal is burning, and then a lot of heat is lost through the metal casing, and lastly, heat energy is wasted. Now, we have two pictures here. The first one is for the traditional Jico. The second one, we have the modern Jico or stove. Now, these are the notes about the traditional Jico. When you check its shape and the way we are stating, we say that it is made of metal casing. The outer part of this traditional Jico is just metal. Now you find that when the Jico is burning, this metal casing is wasting a lot of heat energy, because this one is a good conductor of heat. So a lot of heat goes to the surrounding. Now you find that it is wasting a lot of charcoal. Number two, we say it is cylindrical in shape. Its shape is cylindrical. It is straight and circular top, circular bottom. You find that being cylindrical in shape creates a large space for more consumption of charcoal. So if you compare the charcoal which is used here in the traditional Jico is more than when we are using the modern one. And then it is difficult to hold its handle when the charcoal is burning, means there are handles here which are also metallic. These are also metallic and are directly joined to the metal casing. So you find that when the Jico is burning, holding this maybe to save the charcoal which are remaining here after burning is very difficult, because the handles are very hot and holding it becomes a problem. So you find that the charcoal which is left here after cooking is wasted. Now we say a lot of heat is lost through the metal casing. You realize that the food which is cooked up here is using a lot of heat. On the sides of the metal casing also a lot of heat is being lost to the environment. So it is losing a lot of heat because it is directly connected to the metal casing. And then heat energy is wasted. You find that the heat energy that could be used to do other purpose is lost to the surrounding. Now to that point, let me now discuss about the traditional Jico. The modern, the modern Jico, because we have already discussed about the traditional. So we move to modern Jico. Okay, we say the modern Jico conserves heat energy in the following ways. The modern Jico conserves energy in the following ways. Number one, the modern Jico is made of clay lining. Is made of clay lining that protects it from losing heat through conduction. Number two, wedge-shaped. It is wedge-shaped, creates small space for few charcoal. Number three, most heat is directed towards the burning pot. Most heat is directed to the cooking pot. The cooking pot. Lastly, the efficient use of charcoal, hence conserving the forest. The efficient use of charcoal and conserving the forest. Okay, this is now about the modern Jico. We have already discussed about this traditional Jico. Now we come to the modern Jico. You find that the modern Jico, this is the shape of the modern Jico. We have the charcoal chamber where we put the charcoal here. We have the clay lining around it up to the bottom. And then we have the air inlet here. And then we have the metal casing outside the clay lining. Now we say that this clay lining protects this Jico from losing heat energy through conduction. You realize that the metal is a good conductor of heat. So when the burning charcoal is directly connected to the metal, you find that a lot of heat is lost to the environment. So due to that, we have the clay lining inside the modern Jico that protects or insulates because the clay is a poor conductor, insulates heat loss from these sides of the Jico due to conduction. Number 2, we say it is wedge shaped. So you see it is not cylindrical. The first one we said it is cylindrical in shape, but this one is wedged shaped. So this wedge shape creates a small space for charcoal here. So the amount of charcoal which is put here is different from here. This one is having a very large space for more charcoal consumption. But here we have wedge shape which is having a small space for less charcoal consumption. Number 3, we say that most heat is directed to the cooking pot. So when you are cooking your food here, you find that the heat in this charcoal chamber is only directed upward, where we have the cooking pot here. So when all heat is directed up, you find that it is saving time. This pot which is cooking, you will have to take a little time as compared to this first type of Jico. So a lot of heat is directed upward, and then it will take less time to cook this food. The heat cannot be lost on the sideways of this Jico. So now lastly, it is efficient use of charcoal. So efficient use of charcoal, you find that this one is using more charcoal, and this second modern Jico is using little charcoal. So this means that efficient use of charcoal is saving the forests. So which is important, the forests where we are cutting the trees for firewood and also charcoal. So this type of Jico conserves energy as compared to the traditional type of Jico. Now, I have something to note here about the modern Jico. Despite the fact that it is conserving energy, it is also having some its demerits. The modern Jico, note that the modern Jico, despite the fact that it conserves energy, it is very delicate. It is very delicate. It is very delicate, or it is fragile. So if mishandled, you find that the clay casing can easily break. And number 2, you find that it is very expensive to construct. Now, despite the fact that it conserves energy, you find that it is very expensive to construct, and also it is very delicate when handling. You cannot carry it from here, you put it there, you find that you can easily break the clay lining inside this wedge-shaped Jico. Lastly, let me talk about the fireplaces. We also had the traditional fireplaces, and also we have the modern fireplaces. Now when I talk about the fireplaces, we have the modern and also the traditional fireplaces. An open traditional fireplaces a traditional open fireplace consumes more fuel as compared to modern clay fireplace. There is an open traditional fireplace and also the modern fireplace. This is the modern fireplace. It looks like that, the modern fireplace. Looks like that. we have the opening here where we can insert here the wood, the burning wood. And then we have the opening here, and opening where we can cook several food at that point. And then we have the bricks or the clay. This can be the bricks, or we can have clay like that. Okay, this one is now an improved firewood Jico. We also had the traditional open firewood Jico. This one was only 3 stones. You have a stone, you have a stone, you have your sufuria here, which is cooking. And then you have another stone there. You have another stone. Then we have 3 places where you can insert your firewood. This one is now a traditional open firewood Jico. Now, when you compare these two, the modern clay firewood Jico and the traditional open firewood Jico, you find that the modern one is using less firewood, so it is conserving energy as compared to the traditional 3 stones open firewood Jico. Now, in which way? I will say that the clay cooker, this one can be called cookers or firewood Jicos. Now, the clay cooker are made of brick or clay. Clay cooker is made of bricks or clay. Now, there is a reason why it is made of bricks or clay. We will have to elaborate there. Also, it has one door on each side. It only have one door on each side. Okay, we will also have to elaborate why it is only having one door on each side. Then it has more than 1 cooking holes. Has more than 1 cooking holes. It has more than 1 cooking holes. Then lastly, there is efficient use of fuel. There is efficient use of fuel. There is efficient use of fuel. Now, the 2 types of firewood cooking areas here, we have the modern open fireplace and also the traditional open firewood Jico. Then I said that clay cooker is made of bricks or clay. Now, you understand that bricks or clay are poor conductors of heat. So if it is having only one end, so all the heat will be concentrated here. It will not be lost on the sides because the bricks or the clay is a poor conductor of heat. Number 2, we say it only has one door on each side. So I said it is only having this door where you can insert the firewood. It means that one only place will consume firewood because this one is having 3 sides. You can insert here firewood. For example, you can use 9 here, and here you are only using 3 firewood. So this one is conserving because it is using less firewood. Then 3, it has more than 1 cooking holes. It means that if you are having different types of food, you can cook at the same time because it is having 3 holes for cooking. For example, you are cooking here kideri, you can cook here chapati, and you can cook here anjera. So it means that 3 types of food is cooking at the same time, but here 3 stones, you have to cook first of all kideri, then you wait to cook ukali, after that is when you will have to cook your anjera. So it means that this one is consuming your time, and also it is consuming firewood. So this one has 3 holes, you can cook at a go. And then lastly, it is efficient. So it is efficient, it's not wasting a lot of firewood, so it also saves our forest. To that point, I want to end my lesson. We will proceed later on. Thank you.